We are live. Oh. Hello, everyone. It's time for our exercise and boxing exercise. Exercise time and boxing time. Manny Pacquiao is greater than Floyd Mayweather. Alright? Let's get it on. Oh. We are live here. Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Pacquiao is greater than Mayweather. Way greater than Mayweather. Get up. This may sounds good. Mic check. Mic check. Oh. Pacquiao is greater than Mayweather. Way greater than. Let's get on. Exercise. Boom. Five o'clock. Put it here. Mhm. Smooth. What happened? Oh, you know why is it Pacquiao is greater than Mayweather? Because Pacquiao is a real fighter. That's one, a real fighter. While Mayweather is a businessman. He's a businessman first before he became a boxer. So the fact is, that's why Mayweather from a moniker of pretty boy, he changed it to money, the money team, because he's a businessman. No, but I give him the credit. He's a genius. He's a smart businessman. Floyd Mayweather is a smart businessman. Make no mistakes. I have a high respect to Mayweather. No? Put his gloves on, get inside the ring and fight. Right? He box. Same with I have a high respect to the any boxer, MMA fighter, military personnel, especially the army infantry and the marine infantry, the law enforcement officer, the healthcare professionals, the frontliners. They because they risk their lives to earn a living, right? So my hats off, my salute, right? Mayweather, uh, especially on his late of his career, he chose not to fight the very best. Okay, as what I've said many times on my vlogs, that Mayweather carefully selected his opponents. Take note the word. Carefully selected his opponents. It's because he wants to protect his precious zero. You know? The undefeated. He wants to protect that one. That's why he carefully selected his opponents, especially after his fight against De La Hoya. From there on, he carefully selected his opponents, and it doesn't uh, bother to him whether the people who buy the pay-per-views, who buy gate receipts, tickets, to get bored and just says, "Oh, this guy carefully selected his opponent. He's cherry picking." In other words, Floyd Mayweather cherry picking his opponents. All right. So that's the one thing. He carefully selected his opponent. And by the way, after the De La Hoya or before the De La Hoya fight, he managed his career already because he left from Top Rank. His contract with Top Rank from 1996 to 2006 after his 1996 Atlanta Olympics, right? You get the medal, then you go to professional under the banner of Top Rank, Bob Arum. Then 2006, he left Bob Arum, then he managed himself. No? From there, he carefully selected, and his opponents are, or was, and I'm sure if ever he will come back, it will be like this. Low risk, high reward. Okay? Low risk and high reward, like this, or like this. See? That's what Mayweather says. Mayweather, though he's a very talented, okay? I give him credit. Give him credit for that. Okay, he is a pure boxer, no doubt. Highly talented, yes. Highly skillful, yes. But after the Arturo Gatti fight, and then after the Carlos Baldomir fight, he carefully selected his opponents. If you really study his boxing career from the Arturo Gatti fight, Baldomir fight, and then of course he left Bob Arum, Top Rank. He carefully selected the high risk, no, excuse me, low risk and high reward. There you go. Low risk, high reward, which is a good. He's wise, he's smart, good. That's good, genius. So yeah, then after that, you will be wondering how come or why did Mayweather announce retirement for 5 times? 5 times. Five. Five. So he retired from boxing for 5 times. So you will be wondering how come this guy keep on retiring from boxing? Similar to what Sugar Ray Leonard, in the 80s, from the 80s, one of the fabulous four, Ray Leonard. He keeps on retiring from boxing. What does that mean? Oh, as a boxing aficionado or a boxing follower for 30 or 40 years, you you would think that either he is sick, physically sick or mentally sick, or avoiding opponent that may diminish or may give him difficulties or that give him a loss. In other words, he's taking low risk and high reward. And one opponent that he clearly ducked and he dodged like was Antonio Margarito. Antonio Margarito was the number one ranked welterweight during the August of 2008 publications of the Ring magazine. He avoided that one. Bob Arum of Top Rank offered Floyd Mayweather to fight and $8 million, huh? 8 million, 8. But Floyd Mayweather, no, he declined. He doesn't want to fight Margarito. Okay, that's one. The second opponent that he clearly ducked was Winky Wright, Ronald Winky Wright. At first, because Floyd Mayweather called out. He called out Winky Wright. Now, what Winky Wright did, he accepted the bluff. So Winky Wright says, oh, maybe it's a bluff. But what the heck? What if I'm just say, okay, let's go, Floyd, let's fight? And actually, there's a fact. From Margarito, there's a fact that there's an $8 million offer. And he doesn't want to fight Margarito. Now, in the Winky Wright sent a contract according to the interview of Gary Show Production. Gary Show. They sent a contract. They had already agreed contract against Winky Wright or Floyd Mayweather versus Winky Wright or Winky Wright versus Floyd. And Floyd Mayweather ducked. He declined. He's the one calling out Winky Wright when Winky Wright already said, okay, let's go fight. Let's get. And then Floyd Mayweather, no. So that's the problem of Floyd. So that's second, very clear. That's very obvious. Floyd was ducking, clearly ducking. The third one is Kutsatsu. Kutsatsu, the one who beat who's this talent? Subjuda. Yeah. Kutsatsu was the he was the what do you call this? The lineal champion at the 140, but Ricky Hatton beat him, right? Then he moved up, and then in the rankings, only one loss. So there's a offer to fight Floyd, and Floyd says, no, he ducked. But the two clear is Margarito, and the second one is Winky Wright. That's a very loud and clear ducking. But the good thing, to Floyd Mayweather's credit, he wants to fight Shane Mosley earlier. I give him credit to that. Floyd really wanted to fight Mosley, not the 2010 that we saw that he beat. Of course, he beat Mosley. He wants to fight Mosley like earlier, maybe around 2007, before the De La Hoya fight, because De La Hoya and Mayweather was May of 2007, and then Mayweather versus Hatton is December of 2007. If you still remember, right after the Mayweather versus Arturo Gatti, Mayweather announced retirement. He even cried like this. He said that he has accomplished already enough. But for whatever reasons, whatever alibis, reasons, or excuses, after he left Bob Arum, top rank 2006, he fought Carlos Baldomir, and I give him credit for that. My hats off to Mayweather. He fought the lineal champion. Carlos Baldomir was the lineal champion. He was the man at 147 because he beat Subjuda. Subjuda beat Carlos Baldomir. Baldomir beat Mayorga. Mayorga beat Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest beat Mosley there. And Mosley beat De La Hoya from the year 2000. Because the lineal champion back then was vacant. Remember when Trinidad and De La Hoya, both undefeated? Trinidad is the IBF 147, De La Hoya is WBC 147. Both undefeated, same weight, same age, they fought. Okay? And then Trinidad won. When Trinidad won, he moved up to 154 pounds. So the lineal 147 becomes vacant. So when De La Hoya and Mosley first fight, okay, year 2000, first fight of De La Hoya Mosley, that was for the lineal championship. So Mosley won, though it is very, very controversial. but it is according to the official record, official judges, mostly. So lineal, and then mostly, then Vernon Forrest. Then Vernon Forrest was beaten by uh, Ricardo Mayorga. Ricardo Mayorga beaten by Corey Spinks. Corey Spinks beaten by Subjuda. Then Subjuda was beaten by Carlos Baldomir. Then Baldomir, he lost to Mayweather. Mayweather beat Baldomir. So I give Mayweather credit for that. He fought the best. He fought the best, you know? Yeah. We have a question. Did Margarito have his hands illegally wrapped against Cotto? The answer for that, the straight is no. Cotto, Miguel Cotto 1 and 2 because they fought twice? No. He got we say caught during prior to Mosley versus Margarito. That was January, second week of January of 2009. 2009. Prior to their fight, when the trainer put the hand wraps and gloves, the trainer Nazim, how to pronounce it? Nazim Richardson, watching Margarito's trainer Capitilio. I forgot the first name. And he noticed that there's something wrong with the gloves. To check it, they asked the commissioner, the other commission, to check it. Then there, after a thorough validation, then they say that it is plaster of Paris, something to that effect. So to that illegal wrap, it's not against Cotto. No. It was Mosley versus Margarito, January of 2009. Now, another question. Do you think it is true, Pacquiao? It is true, you know? That performance enhancement drug steroids thing, it was started from the Mayweather clan, Mayweather family. This is after the Pacquiao-Cotto fight. The Pacquiao-Cotto fight was November of 2009, right? Let me start this. Right. So when Pacquiao beat Cotto, he stopped Cotto at the 12th round, right? The Mayweather family, especially the father, um, insinuation. He said that how come this little man, Pacquiao, because Pacquiao's 5'5" and 1/2, correct? 5'5" and 1/2, Pacquiao. By the way, when it comes to welterweight and the size, Pacquiao is the smallest. If you check way back from 1800, because there's already from 1888, there's already a lineal champion, Maki Duffy. Something that name, Duffy. 1888. Until today, 2021, July 9, 2021, Pacquiao is the smallest welterweight, the smallest 147. The second smallest was the great Henry Armstrong, the homicide hunk. Yeah, Henry Armstrong was also a 5'5" and 1/2. Okay, 5'5" and 1/2. Let's say 5'6". There, Pacquiao is 5'6". So Pacquiao and Armstrong are the smallest in height, welterweight fighter, boxer ever, and all others are bigger. So when Pacquiao beat Cotto way back November of 2009, the Mayweather family, especially Mayweather Sr., who was by then, if you do not know, Mayweather Sr. was a convicted drug dealer selling of cocaine. So the Mayweather Sr. insinuating that, oh, this Pacquiao, a little man from the Philippines, a third world country, how come he's so strong, very agile? Maybe he's taking something. That's the first one. That's the first person, the first ever boxer, fighter, trainer, or in boxing community saying that Pacquiao might be taking steroids, illegal substance, whatever kinds of substance. All right. The second one was Floyd Mayweather Jr. uncle, trainer. Rest in peace. Who is this? Oh wow, Roger Mayweather. His uncle says when Pacquiao beat Cotto, his uncle says, "Oh, maybe because during the World War II, in World War II, the American forces, especially the U.S. Army, went to the Philippines, right? Because Philippines back then was a colony. It was colonized by the Americans. So the U.S. Army went to the Philippines, and of course there is this Philippine-American War or American U.S. RP War. Then of course these native Filipinos, they don't want to be colonized, especially the Moro people. When we say Moro, the Filipino Muslims, okay? They don't want to be colonized by the Americans. So in short, they fought, and the American soldiers, the U.S. Army, using the revolver, the 38 caliber revolver, they're shooting those Moro people, the Filipino Muslims, and they are wondering how come this Filipinos didn't get died easily. Now they are thinking the American forces from the 38 caliber pistol revolver, they in their future attack they use a 45 caliber pistol, because these Filipinos keep on coming even though they're shooting the 38 caliber pistol revolver. Pa, 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 pa. Oh, these Filipinos are warriors. So to that effect, Mayweather's uncle, Roger Mayweather, rest in peace, says, oh, because of this Filipino, they have this thing, amulet, or they take something illegal. So those two person from the Mayweather family, Mayweather clan, started that insinuation, okay? Or in simple way, we can say accusations that Pacquiao might be taking illegal drugs, which is so bad for them. You know why? Because Pacquiao, of course, all people, I may say this in general, all people, we have this principle in life, right? Principle. Principle. In other words, let me make it simple. Pride or ego. So what Pacquiao did, because he was then already a congressman, he filed a lawsuit, right? So he filed a lawsuit in California. And of course, what happened was he won the fight. He won the case. And Mayweather, including the Golden Boy CEO back then, who is this? The CEO, the CEO of Golden Boy back then, Richard Schaefer. There. Richard Schaefer, of course, and including Oscar De La Hoya, they pay for the for that lawsuit. Since then, the Mayweather, especially the senior and Roger, the trainer, Uncle Roger, uh, stop this, making this insinuation, accusations of Pacquiao taking steroids, performance enhancement, illegal substance whatsoever. And other fighters, because maybe they are so proud of Mayweather, I'm not going to blame them. and they follow suit. Oh, Pacquiao, Pacquiao is taking this, taking, illegal, illegal, illegal. No, no, no. That is so wrong. In fact, Mayweather was the one avoiding to during their case in the court. The Pacquiao camp asked, that the original health transcript. Your if we go to the hospital, right, in the clinic, we have this complete transcript of our physical and medical records. And the Pacquiao camp asked Mayweather to show all of Mayweather's record regarding his urine and blood testing on all his fights. And the Mayweather families didn't want to show it. They just want to uh, end the case, just pay because of the slander, the slander for the libel case. That is so wrong for them. And from that 2010 negotiation until the 2015 fight, um, even before that fight, Mayweather, he even says, same as De La Hoya and other boxers, a lot of American boxers, I will say this in general, American boxers taking lidocaine, xylocaine to numb because they have this brittle wrist. The wrist is brittle. That's why American boxers, to be fair, they are not really fair. they want they want themselves to numb, using lidocaine and xylocaine. But if the other nationality boxers from other countries, they don't want it. I will give you one good example. During the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, or Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight, Mayweather was allowed to inject lidocaine, xylocaine on his brittle wrist, but he don't want Pacquiao to inject xylocaine on Pacquiao's left shoulder. See the what hypocrisy? That's what you call hypocrisy 101. Double standard, which is so bad for you, Mayweather. But hey, karma, karma will comes up to you, Floyd. And I know based on Floyd's career, I know he is weak mentally. You know what is his weakness? I will tell you this. Maybe you don't know yet. He's zero. If that zero gun, he might suicide. He loves his zero more than his family. He protected his undefeated than his kids, than his family. That's what Floyd's important in life. The 0-1. And speaking of about Vada and Yosada, first, yeah. Pacquiao, fact is Pacquiao already tested twice for Vada this week. What is this week? 9, 10. So, from Monday to Friday, today is Friday, Pacquiao already did twice urine and blood testing of Vada. So Vada and Yosada. Vada, which is Pacquiao, is doing voluntary anti-doping agency, while Mayweather is USADA, USADA, United States Anti-Doping Agency. Here's the question: why Mayweather choose USADA? USADA, okay, let's say this USADA, and then this is Vada. USADA is Vada is cheaper. USADA is expensive. Vada caught a lot of fighters. Caught a lot of fighters that taking illegal. USADA, none, or maybe one. But there's There's no reports about USADA caught someone taking illegal, but VADA caught a lot of boxers, fighters, even MMA fighters taking illegal drugs. But Mayweather choose USADA, not VADA. You have to ask that $1 million questions of Floyd. Why Floyd? Why? Why Floyd? He even says, "Oh, I will be the one making a role model." Role model. Nah, that is hypocrisy. Floyd, you're a hypocrite, Floyd. Floyd, oh my goodness, you are weak mentally. The moment you lose Floyd, if you are listening now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., if you lost, just one loss, I think you might suicide. You are weak. You are weak mentally. Yes, I give you the respect for being a highly talented. There's no doubt. Highly talented. I've watched your amateur fights, even in the Atlanta Olympics. You are highly talented. That's you. That's how good you are. Very talented, very skillful. Yes, but when you turn into professional fighting, especially after the 2006, after the Gatti fight, your style of fighting changes, and I know that. I know that, and I'm sure other fighters or other boxing aficionados, meaning those people who watch boxing 30 years already, 40 years, 50 years already, know that you have a brittle hands, brittle wrist. Your wrist is not strong, bro. That's why. That's why you are injecting silocaine and lidocaine in your wrist. That's why you are not a knockout artist, brother. Brother Mayweather, you are not a knockout artist because first, your wrist is not strong enough. Always remember about money, the financial, it will drain. Nothing is permanent in this world. Nothing. There's only two permanent in this world. One is death. All people will die, even plants and animals. That is permanent. That is will always be. All people will die, all the plants and animals will die. So death, that's permanent. And then the second one is tax. There will always be taxations, tariff. All others, our money will gone, our jewelry, our properties will gone, will gone. So that money to support his family, well, he can have his family support, financial support for now, but the way he handle his life, the way he handles himself, it will go down to drain. It will go to down drain. Sooner or later, it will go down to drain. Yeah. So there. So again, this topic is about why is Pacquiao is greater than Floyd, right? That's one. He carefully selected his opponents. Okay? Remember that. He carefully selected his opponent. Not because of the promoters, because you might say, the people will say, oh, because the promoter, Bob Arum, or the promoter, let's say, Garisho, or the promoter, Loduva, or who is also Garisho, Loduva, or Don King, or who else? Who is promoter? I forgot. No, it's not about the promoter. It's not about the manager. Floyd Mayweather himself, he chooses carefully his opponents. That's one. And number two, uh, he makes sure that he's on the A side. A side, what does that mean? Meaning he can dictate the terms in the contract before they sign the contract. He makes sure that the ring side is favored to him. The ring size, the size of the ring. that he makes sure that he can box, the Philly shell defense, shoulder roll, or the Philly shell. See? And then he can dance around, move around. Then he dictates the size of the gloves, not just the size, but the brand of the gloves. Yeah, if you check Floyd's career, I will give you one good example about gloves of Mayweather. Mayweather versus who is this? From Is it Argentina? Hispanic. Oh, Marcos Maidana. The Mayweather versus Maidana. Mayweather forced Maidana to wear the gloves that Floyd wants him to wear. Wow. You see that? Because Floyd wants his opponent's gloves that is not a puncher's gloves. Oh yeah. He wants a more cushion gloves. That's two, huh? So the ring size, the gloves, the brand of the gloves. What else? Yeah, those are two important, very important. The size of the ring and the brand of the gloves. Maybe the third important for Floyd. The size of the glove, the brand of the gloves, the size of the ring. To enter the ring first, or to be announced first is not important though. But the important is the brand of the gloves. Because like Pacquiao is a knockout artist. So Pacquiao wants the Cleto Reyes, the Mexican, because the cushion is so thin. If I were Pacquiao, I will tell Floyd if ever, which is Floyd doesn't want to give him rematch, I will tell Pacquiao, hey Floyd, let's use the MMA gloves. Yeah, if I'm Pacquiao, I'm going to wear the MMA, the mixed martial arts gloves. Oh my goodness, I'm going to knock out Floyd. So that it will not go to round 2. Only one round. Using the MMA gloves. So, what else? What makes Pacquiao greater than Floyd? Oh, yeah. Uh, about the retirement announcement, that's why when I saw people commenting on any boxing forums or boxing articles or even here in YouTube, any videos that's why Floyd fought these exhibitions against a YouTuber, against a Japanese kickboxer, Tenshin, or an MMA fighter without boxing record, McGregor. The people who followed or the fanatic of Floyd, because Floyd is already, no. That is a wrong excuse. Why? As I've said earlier, or even before my videos previously, 5 times already Floyd announced retirement. He retired 5 times. One, two, three, four, five. Now you have to ask you, oh yeah, what the heck? What is going on with this guy Mayweather? Why he keeps on retiring? Same with the Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard keeps on retiring because of the detached retina. Whatever, no, he just dodging back then. Let's segue. Let's go to Sugar Ray Leonard. Do you know that Ray Leonard, he ducked Aaron Pryor, Aaron Pryor. And he waited Marvin Hagler to get old. Same style with Floyd, where he waited Pacquiao. Now people will say, oh, Floyd is um 1 year and 11 months, not 2 years older. Or let's say 2 years older. Okay, let's say 2 years older, Floyd. But Floyd didn't fight every year. And if he fought the year, he fought only once. And his style is a defensive, as what he says, a defensive style. Well, I give him credit for that. Not all boxers or fighters are are aggressive, not pressure. Not all of them are aggressive fighter or pressure fighter or relentless puncher or a brawler, slugger. Some are defensive, pure defensive boxers. And I can name you some. Besides Mayweather, I can tell you, recently, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Oh my goodness. A two-time Olympian. My goodness. Very high IQ. To me, if you ask me, Guillermo Rigondeaux is greater than Mayweather when it comes to boxing technicalities. If Mayweather is very defensive, Guillermo Rigondeaux is way defensive. That's why the people, even Bob Arum, his boss, before he was under top rank after his Olympics, doesn't want him to give a fights, especially when Guillermo Rigondeaux, beat Donaire, because people get boring. Why is it boring? Same with Floyd Mayweather, boring. I may be biased when it comes to boring, unexciting fights. Defensive fighter or defensive boxer, yes, I give him credit. They want to win by points, by decision. But it is boring. Oh my god, really boring. It depends on the judges if they want to give the 10-9. 10 points, right? Every round's 10 points, right? Round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, round until round 15. Now they changed it to round 12. So another defensive fighter, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Um, Lara, Erislandi Lara of Cuba again. Cuba, Lara, gold medalist. Oh my goodness, he's a pure boxer. Defense. Very good defense. Yeah, and Mayweather doesn't want to fight Lara. They are same weight, 154. Remember? And let's go back to ducking. The two fighters that I've mentioned earlier that Mayweather clearly ducked, Margarito and Winky Wright. The other one is, oh, I forgot already. Yeah. Wow, I forgot this already. Yeah, Lara. Aside from Lara, who is this? Kit Thurman. Kit Thurman is the number one mandatory of Floyd. When 2015, when Floyd decision Pacquiao, number Kit Thurman wants to bite the neck of Floyd. He's the number one mandatory. But Floyd doesn't want to fight Kit Thurman. Instead, he fought Berto. Oh my goodness, Andre Berto. So yeah, that's that very clear ducking. Antonio Margarito, he ducked Margarito, he ducked Winky Wright, he ducked Kit Thurman. Those three are very, very clear. No alibis. He cannot alibi. If he's talking to me, I will tell him eye to eye. No, brother, you duck Kit Thurman, you really duck Winky Wright, and you really duck Margarito. Yeah. So, go back to Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard, he ducked Aaron Pryor. And he waited Marvin Hagler to age, to get age, to get older before he fought. Of course, he fought and he beat Marvin Hagler. I gave him that. Yeah, he beat, but he waited. Same with Mayweather, waited Pacquiao for 5 years. When Pacquiao beat Makoto on November of 2009, instead of making those demands fair and square, he keeps demanding beyond imagination's demand, beyond the normal negotiations. For example, this Olympic style of random urine and blood testing. Okay, let's say for the sake of good, honest, and factual discussion, okay? A heart-to-heart discussion. No bias, no racial discrimination, no racism whatsoever. If Floyd really wanted to do that, how come before the Pacquiao negotiation. Let's say December of 2009. December of 2009. Because Pacquiao beat Cotto November. So the negotiation started December. If Floyd really wanted to do that Olympic style of random blood testing, which is that time he was already professional and he will be fighting professional boxers, not amateurs, right? He should be asking that prior, like for example, when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, they fought September of 2009, right? It should be July. They postponed it. By the way, when Floyd fought Marquez, Floyd Marquez fought July 2008 Marquez lost to Pacquiao March. And then July of 2008, yes, Pacquiao moved Marquez moved up to 138 to fight and beat this Cuban gold medalist. Who is this Cuban gold medal 135? The lineal 135 pounds. Gold medalist Cuba from Cuba. Oh wow, I forgot. Then in 2009 September, Mayweather and Marquez. It was a it was catch weight. Catch weight of pounds. That's a catch weight fight. So Floyd is catch weight king also. So catch weight 144. But the unfortunate for Floyd is he was not able to weight 144 pounds. Instead, he weighed 146 and he pay Marquez for $700,000. $700,000 because the contracted weight is 144 and Floyd cannot weight 144. He weighed 146 during the weigh-in. That's the story of Mayweather versus Marquez. That was September of 2009, right? So let's go back to December of 2009. So the negotiation. So yeah, Floyd demanded Pacquiao Olympic style of random blood testing. The first time I heard that, I was like, wow. I've been following boxing for 30, 40 years. I'm watching already the fabulous four. Hagler, Hearns, Duran, and Leonard. I've watched those. Well, like, even those four, they do not demand those Olympic style of random blood testing. They are not competing in the amateurs, in the Olympics. They are competing professionals. And then the professionals, no one is asking that one. Maybe Mike Tyson. I remember one time Mike Tyson asked Holyfield, Evander Holyfield, to do not Olympic style of random urine and blood. I may say maybe uh, more stringent testing against Evander Holyfield. Yeah, that's the first time. Then the second time was Floyd, but Floyd asked for the Olympics. I was like, what the heck is going on with this man? Now when Pacquiao already, during their negotiation, back and forth negotiation, his offer was this $40 million flat fee. Flat fee. $40 million flat fee. So I was thinking, wow, Floyd really wanted to go out from this Pacquiao fight. He just want to save his face. That's why he keeps on offering. But his offer to Pacquiao is beyond comprehension. Was very wrong for Floyd. It was a clear ducking against Pacquiao. No matter what people says, Floyd did not wait for Pacquiao to age because Mayweather is 24 plus 24, 48 is a 46 months, less than 2 years old, older. No, no, no. Here, you know why I would say this? When Floyd announced his second, because his first announcement of retirement was after the Gatti. After the Arturo Gatti fight, he announced retirement. And then after the De La Hoya fight, May of 2007, in their contract, they have this rematch clause. And then De La Hoya, because De La Hoya that time was the A side. So in their contract, there is a rematch clause that De La Hoya would, how do you call this? Would say, oh, let's fight again, rematch. But what Mayweather did, he announced retirement. He announced retirement. That was his second retirement. So after the Arturo Gatti fight, and then second after the De La Hoya fight. So what happened was De La Hoya canceled the rematch. So instead of September of 2007, the rematch of De La Hoya Mayweather, no, because Mayweather doesn't want to rematch De La Hoya. Then after canceled, 2 weeks after, he called up Richard Schaefer, the CEO of Golden Boy, that he wanted to fight on December against Ricky Hatton, a Golden Boy fighter. You know, Golden Boy promotion fighter. Because Ricky Hatton is under the Golden Boy promotion ban. So there. Then after the Ricky Hatton fight, he announced again, but his announcement of retirement was late. So he fought De La Hoya 2007 May. Then he announced retirement instead of rematch De La Hoya. He fought Ricky Hatton December of 2007. After that, he did not say nothing. He just, just inactive. Then June, second week of June, because Pacquiao fought June 28. Yeah, June 28 against David Diaz. 2 weeks before Pacquiao versus David Diaz, 135 pounds WB championship, Floyd announced retirement. You know why? Why? Because in the July fight, that 2008, in the July fight, the number one Margarito and the number two Miguel Cotto, no, vice versa. The number one Miguel Cotto, the WBA champion back then, and the WBO back then, IBF Margarito is fighting for the number one spot, the lineal championship. That's the first Cotto Margarito, July of 2008. July of 2008. Correct? Yeah, July 4, July 5, July 6, July of 2008. So Mayweather retired again. That was the third retirement of Floyd. For whatever reasons or alibis or excuses of Floyd, he keeps on announced retirement. Then he didn't fight for the entire 2008. No fight. Zero fight of 2008. Then 2009, he announced that he wants to come back. He announced his fight against Marquez during the weigh-in of Pacquiao Hatton. Pacquiao versus Hatton was May 2nd of 2009. So the May 1st, which is Friday, weigh-in, the Golden Boy promotion announced the fight of Mayweather versus Marquez. Then after the Marquez fight, 2009, right? July, and they postpone it to September. Mayweather again becomes inactive, 2009. And then he fight again in 2010. 2010, only one fight against Mosley. Uh, yeah, that's the time that I give him credit for that. That's one of the, when it comes to Floyd's, what they call this? How to say this? Uh, Good win, a good win, or how to say this? Of Floyd, that's one of the best win of Floyd against Mosley. And the other one is his win against De La Hoya. That's another best win of Mayweather against De La Hoya, then against Mosley. Yeah, and against, of course, Carlos Baldomir. Carlos Baldomir was the lineal champ. Though his name is not known, Baldomir is really, but he was the lineal champion. So I give him credit for that. Rigondo, okay, question here. Yeah, sorry, You think Rigondo will beat Casimero? No. No, he will not. Um, I'm not going to be, I will not be biased, okay? First is, though Pacquiao is 42 and Rigondo is 40. Based on the last two fights, I base Rigondo on his last two fights. He was not able to use his legs anymore. The legs of Rigondo was not there anymore, meaning he's not the one, using the ring, because Rigondo, the number one asset of Rigondo, aside from being good in, you know, bobbing and weaving of head movement, side to side, his footwork. Rigondo is very good in footwork. He has better footwork than Floyd. Guillermo Rigondo, to me, I observe Guillermo Rigondo from his, even from his gold medal amateurs. He has a better and greater um, boxing skills than Floyd. So yeah, he he, he might win um by lucky punch though, because in boxing everything is possible. Yeah, though let's say even he's 40 years old, if he can get a lucky punch, then he will beat Casimiro though. And then yeah, that's the first one. Because the moment they fight Casimiro and Rigondo, and he cannot use his legs, that is his asset. His number one asset is his legs. If he's not moving, meaning he's a target, easy target for Pacquiao, for Casimiro. Because Casimiro is, aside from being aggressive fighter, a pressure fighter, a relentless puncher, he's a killer. He's a killer. If he can stop it quick, he will do it quick. Casimiro is that guy. Casimiro is a killer. He's a killer, and he wants to end the fight quick. And Casimiro is on his prime. Though yes, he has two losses. Two Casimiro. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot another defensive fighter, Lomachenko. Lomachenko. Who is the first name of Lomachenko? What's the first name of Lomachenko? I forgot already. Lomachenko, same with Guillermo Rigondo, though they fought at 135 pounds, has better, to me, has a better boxing skills than Mayweather. Yeah. What's what's Lomachenko, even from the amateurs? Compare them. Compare Floyd Mayweather when he was fighting, because Floyd was fighting featherweight in the amateurs, especially in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Watch him. Watch his fights and watch Lomachenko on his amateur, especially in the Olympics in the 2008. Where is that? Beijing Olympics, Beijing, and then the 2012 London Olympics. Compare. Lomachenko is far greater boxing skills, defensive, bob and weave, head movement, the shoulder rolling, everything, using the legs. Yeah, Lomachenko is better than, I may say this. I will cut that. I would say that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has been, or was been, I don't know how to say it correctly, overhyped or overrated by the American media so high. Oh, let me rephrase it. The American media, especially the Black American, or let's say African media, rate or hype Floyd Mayweather so high. That's what I observed. Yeah, that's what I observed. Yes, he is a very defensive boxer, a pure boxer, a highly talented and highly skillful boxer. But the media, the American media, or especially the Black American media or the African media, rated him so high. I don't know why. Maybe because racism. Because boxing, same with other combat sports, it is a race. It's about race. Uh, we can say that it's a race game. It's a it's like a racial event, maybe. Yeah, because when we talk about pure boxing skills, pure boxing talents, Roy Jones Jr. I would say this: Roy Jones Jr. is way better than Mayweather when it comes to boxing skills. Who else? Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker. Sweet Pea. Oh, very defensive fighter, highly and also Olympic gold medalist. By the way, Roy Jones Jr. He should have been a gold medal during the where is that Olympics that Roy Jones attended? Is it in Korea? Seoul, Korea? I forgot. I may be wrong. So Roy Jones should have been awarded a gold medal in that Olympics, but well, already passed. He got the silver medal in his Olympics. So, but yeah, Roy Jones is very far, way far better or greater than Mayweather when it comes to boxing talent, boxing skills, defensive. Yeah, Roy Jones Jr., Pernell Whitaker, Guillermo Rigodao, Lumachenko, Irislandi Lara. Yeah, those are defensive fighter. Yeah, but when we dissect it, Roy Jones Jr. is higher than those. Why? Because Roy Jones Jr. is an exciting fighter. Though he's a defensive, he's very exciting. He's flashy, flashy. Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard is very talented, very skillful. All the fundamentals, very high boxing IQ, very genius. Yeah, Ray Leonard. Yeah. I don't know why American people rate Mayweather so high. I don't know what's what's in their mind. I would say this that Floyd Mayweather is overrated. It's because of his 50 and 0. Yeah, to his fans, if you hear this and you may disagree with me, well, fine. I respect your whatever your thoughts is. But to me, defensive boxing genius, fighters are very defensive. Roy Jones Jr., Ray Leonard, Mel Whitaker, and then now the current, like for example, Lumachenko and Rigundo. Lumachenko, even though Lumachenko already lost two against Salido, Orlando Salido, and who is this? Teofimo Lopez. Lumachenko, when it comes to boxing skills, boxing talents, Lumachenko is greater than Mayweather. Yeah, what? What's up, Mayweather versus Sugar Leonard? I would say Leonard will beat Mayweather because Mayweather is not a knockout artist. That's one. And Ray Leonard is bigger, naturally larger. As we, heard or read, a good bigger man will beat a good little man. Meaning, Ray Leonard is naturally bigger. Let's say they are both skillful. When it comes to talent and skills, they are both the same. But the other one, the fighter A is bigger naturally. The fighter B is smaller naturally. That's why, in general, we can say that The good bigger guy will beat the good smaller guy in general. But in boxing and other martial arts, MMA, everything is possible because of the what do you call this? A lucky punch, a one punch knockout. So yeah. Same with the topic of Pacquiao and Mayweather. You know why? Because Pacquiao is naturally smaller. Imagine, Pacquiao was a light flyweight, started from 106 pounds. That's why I can still continue to say that Pacquiao is greater than Mayweather, aside from those ducking from possible opponents. Pacquiao is the smaller guy, naturally smaller. Started from 106 pounds. Professional, huh? Professional. We're not talking amateurs. No, 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 no. We're talking about professional. 106 pounds, professional. Then become the lineal champion at 112 pounds. Okay? The lineal champion, the man who beat the man at 112. And he moved up to a bunch of weight classes, collecting multiple titles. Some are lineal titles, and then become at 147 pounds, become a lineal champion at 147 when he beat Bradley, April of 2016. Now Pacquiao is fighting the number one guy, Spence. Pacquiao's number 3, and they will be fighting again for the lineal championship. You see that? That is extraordinary feat. Meaning that is a one of a kind in boxing history. A lineal champion at 112, move up in the bantamweight division, and at 147, fighting for the lineal championship. Actually, he got already one lineal against Bradley. Now he will be fighting again for the second time lineal championship against an 11-year younger Spence, which is bigger, huh? So let's go back to Mayweather. Mayweather is 5'9", I'm mistaken, or 5'8". Let's say, to be fair, 5'8", okay? Pacquiao is 5'5" and 1/2. Mayweather started at super featherweight, professional, okay? Professional, super featherweight, 130 pounds. Pacquiao, 106. Light flyweight, 106 pounds. And then move up, and then they fought at 147 pounds. That's how great Pacquiao is. There is no one in the boxing history, not even in MMA, in the UFC, there's no flyweight. Become a champion in flyweight and then become this welterweight champion fighting. No. There are some great fighters at flyweight. Of course, Pancho Villa, a Filipino man. Miguel Canto. Pancho Villa, Miguel Canto. Jimmy Wilde. I don't know how to pronounce it. Jimmy Wilde. Yeah, Miguel Canto, Jimmy Wilde, Pancho Villa. Hold this. Mexican. There's a Mexican. Finito Lopez. I forgot the first name. His moniker is Finito. I forgot his name. Lopez. Finito Lopez. Ricardo. Yeah, Ricardo Finito Lopez. Those are great flyweights. Those are lineal champions at 112. But they cannot even become a featherweight. Imagine. They are great flyweight champions. Lineal champions at 112. They cannot even 126 featherweight. One good example. Nonito Donaire Jr. Nonito Donaire Jr. became a champion, not a lineal champion at 112 when he beat the number one guy, Vic Darchinyan. Remember? IBF and IBO. Undefeated Vic Darchinyan, 112. So, Donaire beat him. And then Donaire moved up to 115, become a champion, and then 118, become a champion. And then 122, right? Become a champion. And right now, Nonito is a WBC 118. He moved down, right? when he tried to move up to 126 against African. The Axeman. I forgot the complete name of the Axeman. Who is this Axeman? Wow, I forgot this Axeman. From Africa. Of course, from Africa. It's black. Nonito got knocked out. So, imagine, Donito Donaire Jr. and Manny Pacquiao started the career flyweight. Okay? Nonito Donaire Jr., by the way, Nonito is taller. He is 5'7". Nonito Donaire Jr. is 5'7". Pacquiao is 5'5" and 1/2. They started at flyweight. Pacquiao became a flyweight lineal champion. Okay? Lineal. The man with the man. Donaire was the IBF and IBO flyweight champion when he beat Vic Darchinyan. Pacquiao move up a bunch of multiple ways, and garnered a lot of multiple titles. And Donaire cannot even beat at 126. You see that? And Donaire is a Hall of Famer, right? That's one good example that Pacquiao is achieved an extraordinary. That's the simple word. Extraordinary feat that none in any boxing history ever did or done. Yeah. Mayweather Hearns. I would say Mayweather will beat Hearns. You know why? Though Hearns is taller, right? Taller. If I'm not mistaken, he is 5'11" or 6'0". Like same as height. And the body frame of Hearns is like Paul Williams. If you still remember Paul Williams, he is already wheelchair. He get knocked out by Sergio Martinez. Yeah. Paul Williams is similar to Hearns in size though, in size. In size and his body frame. The frame. Mayweather is much talented than Hearns. So, I will say Mayweather will beat Hearns. At 147, okay? Let me clear this. At 147, Mayweather will beat Hearns. But Leonard will beat Mayweather even at 147, even at 154. Yeah. Yeah. Mayweather versus Hagler. Oh, yeah, this is a good. Okay. Mayweather versus Duran. Duran will beat Mayweather. Yeah. You know why? The one thing that can beat Mayweather, aside from talent versus talent, is the Iron Chin guy. Because Mayweather has this pop, the pop of the hand. When he jab, that's why remember the Mayweather versus Canelo, we'll not talk yet the catch weight, okay? Because they are fighting at catch weight. Though Floyd is not a knockout puncher, his jab has this pop that his opponent might think twice or doubt. Yeah, is it enough? Enough of pop of his jab. Now, if the opponent, for example, is Hagler, but the question though is, they are fighting because in reality, Hagler never fought at 154 and below. Hagler was 160. 160 all throughout. And he moved up, not 154. So, let's say just for the discussion, Hagler will beat Mayweather because of the size and the weight. Hagler will not go down to 154. He will not go down to 147. So when we are talking about just pure of discussion, Mayweather will go up to 160 and Hagler will beat Mayweather due to the physicality, not because of the talent. Not okay. Make no mistake. Mayweather is way talented, way skillful than Hagler. Okay, because Hagler, though he's the one of the greatest, okay, I will give him that. If not the number one or number two greatest middleweight, Hagler is the greatest middleweight, 160 pounds. If not number one or number two, so that's Hagler, okay? But Hagler is not defensive. He's a pure brawler, a pure slugger. He's there in the front. He's just there in the front. Pa, pa, pa. He's like a Mexican warrior, you know. Uh, punch me once and I will punch you twice, like that. Or punch me twice and I will punch you. Punch me in the face once and I will punch you twice. That's Hagler. It's like a Mexican fighter too. Now, when it comes to Duran, though he lost to Hagler, right? Because Duran is much skillful than Hagler. And I will rate Hagler as the greatest lightweight champion ever. Lightweight, 135 pounds. I will give it to him. The greatest 135 pounds fighter ever. Roberto Manos de Piedras Duran. Yeah, I will give it to Duran. Prime Tyson versus Prime Ali. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Tyson, Ali. I would say Ali. I would say Ali because of the height. First, in the height and the talent. You know, I observed in boxing the physicality. Even though you are prime, both of you are prime. But if the other guy is much bigger, higher, and then let's say both of you are the same height, same build. You know the build, same reach, the height, the reach, and then the build, and then the talent and the skills. I would say that whoever has the knockout artist, meaning those that are not brittle hands, or and those are iron chin. Those fighter that has iron chin will win. And the third one is those fighter that can last 15 rounds or that can last, we will make a exaggeration, that can last even 10 rounds. Those will win. Okay? The knockout artist, the iron chin, and the stamina that will last 15 rounds. That will win. So when you ask Prime Tyson versus Prime Ali, I would say Prime Ali. Because Prime Tyson, I would say that he is weak mentally. I would say that Mike Tyson is, though Tyson knocked out many times, lost many times, and Mayweather is 50 and 0. When it comes to mentally, I think they are both weak. That is my honest observation. I observed them. And I would say Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is mentally weak. I would say Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner? That guy is weak mentally. Oh my goodness. You know why if you ask me why I say that? Because every time Mayweather um, Pacquiao has fights and someone doesn't ask him, he wants his name or he wants himself to be on the limelight. So I would say it is not about insecurities. No. Well, we can say maybe he has a little bit insecurities or a little bit envious or jealousy. I would say that's the sign and symptoms to be mentally weak. He is mentally weak, meaning he is not tough. Yeah. That's why I said earlier a suicide. If ever Floyd will lose, even in that exhibition, for example, because he's fighting exhibition, right? He just fought a Logan Paul, a YouTuber, which is he cannot even score a knockdown, even that weight disadvantages and height disadvantages and race disadvantages and the age, the youth. Um, let's say he will do exhibition against Jake Paul, the brother, and he will get knocked out. Even though it's an exhibition, exhibition, and he will get and Floyd will get knocked out. I may say he might suicide because why? Because when after the Logan Paul, the YouTuber fight, when he go to the rostrum, or I would say the post-fight press con, he cannot control himself. Floyd cannot control himself. And he even speak about not only himself but Pacquiao. What is going on with the head of Floyd? Why he's talking about Pacquiao? Pacquiao is not even mentioning him. And they're not even making future fights. I would say if he is just hyping, if they are fighting, but no. He don't want even to fight in a real fight. He just want an exhibition. By the way, in terms of exhibition, his 50th fight, the number 5-0 fight of McGregor, MMA McGregor, it should be an exhibition. I really don't know why the Nevada State Athletic Commission considered it as an official professional fight. It should have been an exhibition. Well, Floyd really wanted his mind that time. Here's one thing. That's why I said that Mayweather Jr. is mentally weak. He really wanted to be a 50-0 because remember Rocky Marciano, undefeated heavyweight champion, right? 49-0. But his mentality is thinking, they said, Rocky Marciano, 49-0, undefeated retired heavyweight champion, one of the greatest. I need to beat him. I should be 50-0. No. If that is your mentality, no, you are wrong. You are weak. Because it's not because you are 50-0, you are 50-0, you are the greatest. No. Because there is a 51-0, Ricardo Lopez, Finito Lopez. 51-0. Sam Langford. Man, I forgot the exact win. And he's undefeated also. 60 plus undefeated. Some retired undefeated. And of course, Cesar Chavez Sr. Though he got lost, but he was 87-0 back then. Because first, 87-0 before he got lost. Julio Cesar Chavez, they said, because he was fighting taxi drivers or whatever, boat drivers or what. No. If we are going to be very, very critical, to each opponent, there's a lot of loopholes. There's a lot of holes on its fighters, boxers, not just boxers, but also MMA. So yeah. Okay. Casimiro can beat, I think Casimiro can beat, yes. I think so, yes. Yes, 100%. No doubt. Pure heart and pure mind, yes. I can say this to you. I think Casimiro can beat Donaire, yes. Especially now, no? The fact is, both of them, Casimiro and Donaire. What else? Both of them are knockout artists, knockout punchers. And what else? Knockout artists. They are talented both. And both of them are switchers. You know what is switchers? They can switch from a southpaw, right? Southpaw, meaning my right foot and my right hand is the lead hand, right? The lead foot, right? And then orthodox. My left foot is in front and I'm using left hand, my left jab to jab, right? Orthodox. So both of them, Casimiro can switch, same as Donaire. And also, of course, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is a switcher. Yeah. So there. Whoa. So some Pacquiao greater than Mayweather. I forgot some already. So yeah. What else? Yeah. If ever Pacquiao win, and if and I pray and hope that Pacquiao able to beat Spence. I am hoping and praying. Pacquiao will be the only fighter, only boxer in history to won a four divisions ring champion. 126, 130, 140, and 147. And aside from that, he will be the first and only fighter, boxer, to won six lineal championships. Six times lineal championships in five weights. Lineal at 112, lineal at 126, lineal at 130, lineal at 140, and lineal at 147. So, those are extraordinary feat of Pacquiao if and when he beat Spence this coming August 21st, 2021. And there's nobody did that except Pacquiao. That's why there's a lot of achievements of Pacquiao that Mayweather didn't accomplish or not even bother to get it because he wants to select his opponents very, very carefully. And by the way, the Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez, they said, oh, for Pacquiao to beat who is this? Alvarez, Mayweather, in greatness, pound for pound greatness of all time, Pacquiao should fight and beat Canelo because Mayweather beat Canelo. If I am the one talking to them, I would say no, and I would say that Mayweather versus Canelo is not even. I would say this: Pacquiao versus Spence is greater than Mayweather versus Canelo. You know why? Mayweather versus Canelo was a catch weight of 152. That discredits. Of course, a lot of people doesn't know that. They said, "Oh, Pacquiao is the king of catch weight." No, wrong. Pacquiao, yes, Pacquiao has two catch weights. Two. Only two. Against Cotto, November of 2009, that was 145 pounds catch weight. But Cotto fought Joshua Clottey 146 pounds. And prior to that, okay? So that's our first catch weight. And the second catch weight of Pacquiao was Pacquiao versus Margarito at 150 pounds. While Mayweather has also two catch weights. When Mayweather fought Marquez, it was a catch weight of 144 pounds. And the worst thing is, was not able to comply it. He paid $700,000 because he weighed in 146 pounds. That's the first catch weight of Mayweather, September of 2009, and then the Mayweather versus Canelo. It was a 152 pounds catch weight unification, title fight. WBA of Floyd and WBC of Canelo. And the worst thing there is, same with the Marquez, it's worse because Canelo was forced to accept the 152 pounds catch weight. It was not, the fanatic of Floyd. Oh, it was Canelo who demanded. No. Mayweather, the one, forced Canelo to say 152. If not, we'll go to 151 or 150. So, when they said, oh, Pacquiao should fight Canelo, and if he beat Canelo, he is greater than Floyd. If I am the one talking to them, yes, why not? Okay, what weight? 147 or 140 pounds? Or they said, no, fight him in same as Canelo. Mayweather. I said, so you want Pacquiao versus Canelo at 152 pounds catch weight? The million billion dollar question is Canelo able to weight even 154 pounds? The answer is no. Canelo cannot even weight 160 pounds right now. Canelo will never goes back to 160 pounds. He won't even fight trilogy, uh, uh, three fight of Triple G. They fought twice, right? He don't want to fight triple for the no. That's easy money. That's easy money and easy fight for Canelo, right? But he didn't want to go down. He wants Triple G Golovkin to move up to 168, and they are planning to move up to 175 in the near future. The moment Canelo beat Caleb Plant, the IBF, am I correct? IBF 168 pounds Caleb Plant, they will no longer stay in 168. They will fight at 175. So to those people, I am talking to these all Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Mayweather fans, Mayweather believers. If you are talking about for Pacquiao to be greater than Floyd, Pacquiao should fight Canelo. Oh yeah, Pacquiao versus Canelo at 147 pounds. Or same with Mayweather and Canelo at 152 pounds catchweight. Of course, you don't want that, right? So, no. Pacquiao is way greater than Mayweather, even not fighting with Canelo. Of course, me as a boxing aficionado, I followed boxing beyond even before the Douglas knocks out Mike Tyson in Japan. I watched it already. That very moment when Douglas knocks out Buster Douglas knocks out Mike Tyson, I watched that in TV live. Um, Pacquiao already even not fighting Canelo, even not fighting Spence this coming August 21st. Pacquiao is way greater than Mayweather. And I will hold this Pacquiao greater than Muhammad Ali in the next video. Maybe tomorrow. Okay? So, uh, to those who are watching, maybe next video, it will be Pacquiao greater than Muhammad Ali. I know a lot of you are very fanatic of Muhammad Ali and we will discuss it. Okay? Um, it's not by option. Then what do you recommend when fighting multiple attackers or fighting a tall, strong guy? Fighting a but if you are set fighting situation, escaping is an option. Then what do you recommend when multiple attackers or fighting multiple attackers? Ah, well, if it's a bare hand in a street fight, meaning is there's no rules. So use your bite, your teeth, your bite, and then you don't have to punch. You can just grab. Oh, you can use punch. You can punch or grab, squeeze the balls. That's what I'm thinking. Me as a martial artist myself, I am a martial artist. I practice martial arts since 80s. I would say this to my students, especially the girls. You don't have to punch or do a grappling to the guy. Just bite the neck if you can, as quick as you can. Bite the neck until the guy die. Squeeze the balls. You know, squeeze. This is the ball. Squeeze it, squeeze, or bite it if you are there. You bite it until the guy die. That's a straight fight against, for example, multiple or taller guy or a strong guy. Do not punch in here. No, especially if a boy and a girl. Let's say a boy, a bigger, and a girl, a smaller. So for a girl beat this bigger boy, stronger boy, masculine, muscular, uh, iron chin, but he is not iron in the neck. The girl can bite the neck until the boy die. Or if the girl's mouth near to the balls, bite it, bite it or squeeze it until the boy die. Until the boy die. Do not let the boy alive, no. Because once the guy alive, he will kill the girl. Same as shoot. When you shoot the bad guy, shoot him to dead. Do not let him alive. Because the moment he alive, he will revenge. He will revenge. Shoot him dead. That's why in the law enforcement academy, in the police academy, the basic training is 2 shots to the chest, pa pa, and 1 shot to the head. If me, oh my goodness, I will all the bullets, all the ammo inside the magazine. Chest, like for example, 6 on the chest, 6 on the head. Kill, kill. Do not let him alive. Because if he's alive, he will back to you. Or she will kill you. Same with us fighting in the streets. As what you have a question is in the street fighting, escaping against multiple attackers, a big guy, strong guy, iron chin like that, muscular. Yeah. If a girl bite the neck until he die, while biting the neck, or biting the eyes, biting the nose, grab the balls, squeeze it until the guy die. Those has to win. Yeah. All right. So the next episode, this might be about Pacquiao greater than Muhammad Ali. But make no mistakes, I have my high respect to Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest. I rate him as number 3. I may argue maybe I can say number 2, behind Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson. Then, yeah, because I have someone there. So, yeah, next episode it will be Pacquiao greater than Ali. All right? To everyone, stay safe, stay hydrated because it is summer. So, hydrate. And stay positive. Share the blessings to others. And keep up whatever good deeds to everyone. Who see you later. See you.